Hey guys, it's Kendall, and it is 3 o'clock in the morning on December 21st, and I'm gonna make a video right now. I'm making a video right now, because I want to video more. I want to put more videos on this channel more frequently, so I decided I was going to. And, yeah, a little updatey, though. Shave my head. I don't know how I feel about it yet. It's really short. I cut it really short because my hair was blue before and I dyed it blue not too long ago, so like the roots were like blonde and blue, and so I just cut it really short. I don't know how I feel about it yet, but I'm sure I'll get used to it. I mean, I'll have to get used to it. It's gonna be there for a while. I can't really do anything with it, but yeah. I'm gonna keep my head off. I'm gonna deal with it. But this topic I got literally probably 7 months ago for my past YouTube channel on past queerness. Is what they phrase it as, and I don't know who sent it, but it was like anonymous on Tumblr, but I thought that was a good topic, and yeah. So, past queerness, I started to identify as queer probably my freshman year of high school. And that was when I was not dating anyone. I don't know, I was just in high school, and I remember this boy liking me, and I was like, nah, I don't know if I'm digging that, but you know what, I tried to go for it because I see what was going on in my head at that point. It was like, oh, I think I'm gay. I think I'm gay. But I was pretty sure I was gay. But I just wanted to I don't know. I don't want to say make sure, but I'm gonna say make sure because that's what was in my head then, I guess. But I was going to make sure with this guy, and I know that's a shitty thing to do, to make sure with someone, experiment. But I don't know. That's something that I just had to go through myself. But I was making sure with this guy, and I found myself in a relationship that I had to tolerate. It was only for a month, less, but something that I had to go through. And during that relationship, I realized that that's not who I want. Well, that person specifically, but not. I didn't like guys, and that was what was leading me to believe that I was a lesbian or whatever. And so that was my defining era. I don't want to say moment, but era when I era. That sounds weird. So no, but I'm gonna say it anyways. And from there on, I identified as lesbian, and I was really insecure with my that title, I guess. I didn't want to, or I didn't tell anyone, and I didn't didn't flaunt it. I didn't people asked me, I just kind of beat around the bush. I'm sure a lot of people knew, but I don't know. And something about identifying as a girl who liked other girls, I just didn't feel like it was right, but it was really all I knew, and so I just went with it. And during my 10th grade year, I moved to a different city in Olympia, Washington, aka the coolest, queerest place in the world. And I started going to I met this really good friend, and I'm not going to say his name because I don't have his permission, but he introduced me to this queer support group that happened 2 days a week. And when I went to that support group and I started going, and I was like, yeah, I really like this. And when I first went, it was my first couple times I was like, I like this, but I feel I'm not queer enough, maybe it was partly because I wasn't openly queer with myself, or with other people, with me not flaunting it. But then I learned to that group really helped me to be proud of who I was, and I would sit there and listen to other people's stories, and I was like, yeah, this is like, I like this, and I like the community, and so at that point I started to get a lot more like open with myself and open with a lot of other people, and I met a lot of great people which I'm very good friends with today. I actually, someone there just got top surgery like a week ago, and I Skyped with him last night, and he's a great friend of mine, um, and they that group like really did something for me, you know. And I was introduced to like trans people, and I was introduced to like all kinds of queer people, and I really learned a lot. And when I started going to that group is when I started like figuring out that I wasn't like totally comfortable with myself, and like I was still identifying as identifying as female, and I hadn't really at that point explored my gender too much. And but like when I would hear stories, and I'd be like, you know, like checking things off, like like people who are trans who like tell stories about how they knew they were trans, and at that point I was doing a lot of research on YouTube, and you know, I was like checking things off, but I'm like, just because this applies to me doesn't mean that I'm trans. But I got my hair cut that summer. This was the summertime, and I got my hair cut that summer, and it made me feel so much better about myself. Like, you have no idea. My confidence went through the roof. I was like, gonna get some babes. A little fuzzy. Oh. Yeah. That haircut for me was like, I know that sounds like stupid, like, oh, you got a haircut, you feel it. But I had a haircut, and I felt great, because my hair before, it was really long, and I just didn't feel like myself. And that summer I moved to California, and I, you know, it was like my first fresh start as like queer girl, you know. And I don't know, I started a relationship that with someone, and it was really unhealthy, but we were together for about 6 months, and I admit that it was really unhealthy now that I look back at it. And I started to realize, which is why I broke up with her, but I started to realize that it was really unhealthy. And at one point I really started thinking about my gender, and like I was like easing my way into it, because I didn't want to, partly because I didn't want to like rush into anything, and partly because my girlfriend was not the most accepting. And at one point I was like, do you know what genderqueer is? And she was like, yeah, that's not what you are, right? And I'm like, well, fuck. So I feel like, and I talked to my therapist about this, about me like telling her I was genderqueer, and she was like, well, this was you trying to like soften the blow. And I was like, well, now that I think about it, like I feel like it was me trying to soften the blow, you know. And she just didn't accept me for it. And so I was like, okay, well, like, but I thought that like this girl like shit roses, but she didn't, like. And then that happened, and then I really started to really like get into my like gender, and like thinking I was trans, and I didn't know how to like dip my feet in without like going all the way in at once. So I asked a couple people, a couple of which who are trans, to start like using male pronouns when talking about me, around me, to me, you know. And that went on for a while, and I was when it started to happen, it felt good. It felt really good. Like I felt empowered, you know. Like I felt like that was what I wanted to be called all along. And so, and I remember I got a binder, and I remember me like ordering this binder and like getting it in the mail. Underwork ships unbelievably fast. But I got it in the mail like the next day, and like I wore this binder like like all the time, which is unhealthy. Don't do that. Please don't do that. But I wore it all the time because it made me feel so good and so yeah, and so empowered. But during my time in California, I'm in Ohio now, for those of you who haven't watched my videos, but like I had a lot of great friends, people who accepted me when I came out as trans, and just I am so grateful for the group of friends that I had, because they were so understanding, and like they switched right away, and I just want to, if you're watching, thank you. I know that I think some of them like all the time, but I mean, like, I really appreciate it. I really think that that was like really a big part of me going on with this so easily, and it made like the internal, like, I don't want to say struggle, but like the process a little bit easier, to know that I didn't have to like filter myself and not be too trans around my friends, you know, like, I don't know, it really helped. And so yeah, and at this point in my life, I'm dating someone that is very understanding of me being queer, trans queer. She's queer herself, and she's great. What the fuck is on my sweater? Oh, I'm using that stupid IKEA blanket. Stupid IKEA. But yeah, and my relationship couldn't be better right now, and I'm very comfortable with myself around this person, and I feel like I don't have to worry about how I act, how I express my gender, about how I don't have to worry about how it fluctuates, about how, like, I'm gonna stop thinking of that right now. I'm just gonna stop. But I couldn't be more comfortable with my relationship right now. Like, I feel like she understands me so much, and she is so like willing to learn and understand and things like that, and I am grateful. I'm grateful for you, Megan. But yeah, I feel like I had something else to say to end this video, but I can't think of it. I shaved my head today, and I missed some spots, like you can see here. Oh, whatever. I want to see how it grows out. I've never really had it grow out the same length. Yeah, it feels weird, like there's not as much weight. I look like an idiot doing that, but really, like, there's a lot of air coming through here, but I like it. And yeah, I think that concludes this video. By the way, I am finding out what kind of insurance I have January 1st, so that's when it like applies, so we don't even know what it covers yet, so hopefully it'll cover like the one therapy session that I need to get my T letter in Ohio, because I need like an Ohio T letter, and hopefully the T itself. And yeah, so I'm excited about that. I'm excited to start T soon. I've actually been, no, I'm not going to get into this. I've been dysphoric about it, but I don't want to, this is a different video. This video is 14 minutes and 9 seconds long. Okay, we're done here. Goodbye. You have a wonderful day, week. You have a wonderful, wherever you are. What? You're wonderful. You're wonderful. Bye. Okay, bye.